So I made this video for one of my clients for a set of his pods and grills going out. And I just figured I would add this little bit to the front of it and then put that video behind it so that everybody can kind of understand how this process works with the grills and the pods that I make. And I hope it helps. Okay, so when you get them, you'll have two of them, obviously. And they will already have the screws in them and ready to go. So remove the grill, that piece, set that aside. Remove this second layer here, just magnets, pull that up, set that aside, and then that leaves you with access to all the screws. So what you're gonna do, and yeah, be aware, I mean, those are magnets, so, you know, your screws will get stuck, but you just pick them up. So then you take this piece out. That is your mounting plate. You can leave these screws in for now, take them out, whatever you want to do. That's to mount your speaker to the plate, obviously. But this plate comes out so that when you have a tweeter, like the tweeter, the BLAM tweeter that has the mounting ring on the back, so you're supposed to slide the tweeter into this, have access to the back, put the ring up, tighten it up, right? If this is all mounted in here good and tight, you're gonna have a hard time, obviously, getting your hand back there and doing this. Makes it easier for that. So then you can take this out, set it aside. Now this is the part that you're going to mount to your base, right? You're going to angle this however it needs to go. The trick is to make sure that, let's say the windshield is here on that side and the pillar's over there, right? So this is passenger side. Make sure you have access to putting those screws back in. These out here typically won't be that big a deal. That one might not be that big a deal. This top one, because of windshield, you want to make sure you have access to doing that. And don't try to do it with power tools or anything like that. Please always just use, this is the #1 snap-on precision. You don't have to use a snap-on, but it's a #1 manual screwdriver. Twist with your hand. This is acrylic. These are steel screws. You can over tighten and strip them out. I mean, they tighten and they tighten really well, but you can't overdo it. Cover this with masking tape and then take a razor blade and cut like right at the middle, like at the middle here, right? And then you're gonna stretch your grill cloth, whatever, across it, CA glue all the way around. You may wanna scuff this. And if you're gonna scuff, I always talk about scuffing. This 3M scuff, Scotch-Brite scuff pad. You can literally just do that, right? You see the difference? Okay, I mean, if you want, you can do sandpaper, whatever you want to do. But you're gonna scuff that a little bit so the CA has something to bite into. So you'll glass this or mount this to your plate, then stretch grill cloth across. But you're gonna stretch CA glue, fiberglass, fill, sand, all that stuff. If you're painting, paint. If you're gonna wrap in vinyl, leather, whatever. But the idea is, so that's the piece that goes in a dash, right? So that when that's in the dash, what you're going to do is then you're gonna take, obviously, this piece, and you're gonna put this back in, line up your holes, which is not that hard to do. They're all cut, you know, they're CAD designs, so they're all in the same spot. Line up your holes and put your screws back in. Now, if you choose, you can paint this. You can paint this if you want, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter, right? But all the magnets are flush, like they're under that really thin layer of acrylic right there. It's 0.03 inch. So you can't feel it, right? You can see it. Same on the backside. It's just, you can't, it's not that, well, the backside is actually the 1/8 inch, but you can't feel it. So if you want to paint this, then scuff, prime, paint, right? No big deal. So once this piece is back in, and this part of the video I will speed up, because I'm just gonna, there you have it. So that's back together. So now then, imagine that this is now sitting in your dash or on your dash, right? Obviously, you need to figure out a way to mount your assembly to the factory dash. My thought would be figure out a way to mount before this mounting plate goes in, you know, so once you have it glassed in with that outer piece, you can make a bracket or something off the back, you know, whatever, and down into the dash, and then you'll be good to go. Or do it through your plate. You know, if your plate is here and your speaker, you have room for your speaker here, you know, maybe you can pop a screw right down through there or something like that. Maybe even hit one of the factory speed clips for the factory speaker. But anyway, so now that's in there. Maybe you've painted this, maybe you haven't, up to you, whatever you want to do. Then you have this piece. This, again, 1/8 inch, 0.03, 0.03. Magnet is totally embedded. Cannot feel it. No problem at all. Paint this, whatever you want to do. You may even be able to wrap it with some very thin vinyl if you want, because I did leave a little bit of a gap. But as you can see, it's in there. And when you go to pull this apart, you'll know, I mean, that's got some tension. It's not going anywhere, right? But there is just a little bit of a gap. It's 1.5 millimeter gap all the way around, okay? And that's on this piece and on the grill piece. So if you want to paint this, wrap this, you know, whatever, just be aware that that's the gap you have. Then the next one, right? And again, if you're going to paint, scuff, okay? And then obviously you have your grill. And your grill is 1/8 inch in the middle. There's a piece of the 0.03 on the bottom. So again, magnet is in there. Now you notice these are smaller. These are 1/4 inch magnets, where those are 3/8. And the reason for that is so that the pull from this is very light. No, nothing is mounted to it. There's no speaker on this, right? But anyway, this can sit in there like that without any issue of it bouncing off, right? But when you pop it off, it pops that off while still leaving that piece in. So this is your quote unquote beauty paint. And again, like I said, oh, you want to paint this, right? So this is the 0.03 1/8 inch that has holes cut for magnets, another piece of 0.03 to cover that. And then it's got a piece of 0.03 that's cut in the hex pattern, which is here. And then it has a 0.03 layer with the holes in it, okay? And they're all bond part. You hear there's nothing rattling, right? That's my fingernail hitting it. And you know these are strong. They're strong enough because that's me right there. Just, you know, drop it. It's fine. But there you have it. That's it.